So it's come to this, ladies and germs. My first quote-unquote negative video. Here's the lowdown. I hate the idea of shitting on something simply for the sake of garnering views and channel traffic. Then again, the review industry has built a monopoly on making others feel bad for liking things, and jokes aside, blindly raving about something without acknowledging its faults tends to stagnate a lot of entertainment media. So that said, I'm gonna approach this one with at least some modicum of dignity. And full disclaimer, try not to get too hung up with what I say because
that's my opinion!
I'm fickle as fuck, and a lot of what I say may change as I get deeper into the series. That's probably not gonna stop people from giving me shit, but if I wanted mature, reasonable discussions, I wouldn't be on YouTube in the first place. Anyway, enough of that. Let's talk about why I think Tower of God is kind of boring. I'm gonna assume you guys have already watched some of the series, so I'll streamline the recap. There's this cute Shota dude who was found in this big-ass tower. And this chick who pulled him out of the dirt was like, yo, I'ma climb this tower so I can achieve, like, phenomenal cosmic powers! Later, man. So, she's gone, and the Shota dude named Bam Bam has to, like, fight a bunch of these fantastical motherfuckers in competitions to reach the top and find his waifu. Already, I had high hopes because it was setting itself up to be one of those try not to die series like Battle Royale or watching Teen Titans Go. But I've already watched 5 episodes of Tower of God, and right now, I can say that I've been considerably underwhelmed. And I think the reason for that boils down to this. It's kind of hard to feel invested in the show's characters, story, and problems when the show itself doesn't really seem all that invested in it either. What I mean is that, when you're doing a series in which your characters are playing games and are basically fighting for their lives for some MacGuffin, it's crucially important that we have a reason to care about what happens to them. That usually boils down to either A, they're trying not to fucking die, or B, said MacGuffin is personally significant to the character that the possibility of fucking dying is worth fighting against. The latter is definitely more applicable to our main guy Bam in this case, but even then, that motivation came off as pretty short-sighted to me. Yeah, the cute blonde girl Rachel was nice to him and dumped his ass to get whatever the hell was at the top of the tower, but if being nice was the only precursor for imprinting on someone, the world would have been overrun by harem anime protagonists by this point. Bam and Rachel's relationship has been shrouded in mystery so far, and yeah, okay, you can go that route, but you risk your audience becoming emotionally detached as a result. It's just hard for me to care about Bam wanting to find Rachel because I really have no damn clue why that particular relationship is so meaningful to him. That mystery shouldn't cause too many issues this early on in the series, but the problem now lies in the fact that Bam isn't really an active participant in his own story. Most of the things that happened, like getting the Black March or entering the bonus round, are things that happened to him as opposed to things he actually does. If his relationship with Rachel is that important to him, you'd think the guy would be more responsive to all the shit that's going around him, yeah? Khun is your typical clever, smooth-talking bad boy with a shifty past who's voiced by Okamoto Nobuhiko because of course he fucking is, and that's about it. Okay, that's not really fair, I get it, but given that he drives a lot of the plot, it'd be nice if his motivation for partnering with Bam amounted to more than just, he's interesting. Anyway, that's my hot take on our protagonist. But while we're talking about motivations, let's look at the rest of our colorful cast of characters. To be honest, while they all look unique, they don't really act unique. Here's the thing, because the prospect of death is already severely underplayed, right now everyone who's involved in this game is motivated solely to reach the top and, I don't know, become God or something. But because of that, everyone's kind of a selfish asshole that only really gives a shit about themselves. The Gator Man wants to prove he's a manly man, the Lizard Lolly is an uppity princess, the Sleepy Dude doesn't give a rat's ass about anything. It's just difficult to root for any of these guys to reach the top when all it'll do is reinforce their own superiority complexes. Yeah, that'll likely change with character development, but still. If they don't really care about anything substantive, why would I care myself? So that's my spiel on the characters, but what about the setting? Granted, I don't watch too many high fantasy series, so take what I say with a grain of salt on this one. When your series calls for a lot of world building and lore, keep in mind that no one's really going to give a damn until you give them a reason to. Have a set of basic rules that your world follows, then expand on that once you've gained the audience's favor. To that end, the world these guys live in is fairly engaging with the different landscapes and creatures. The role of magic, or Shinsu as they call it, is, well... Okay, look. The magic aspect is fine, but my issue is how it plays out. Your definition of magic needs to have defined standards of what it can and can't do, and where it comes from. The Shinsu in this case is, it's powerful, and it's a liquid, except when it's not, and it can kill you unless it doesn't, and people have it, but you gotta be irregular or something. Basically, it's pretty vague. I guess I'm just not into all the info dumps or how certain objects seem to exist for plot armor, but whatever. Like I said, I'm not exactly an expert on this shit. In retrospect, this is probably my smallest issue with the show so far. Which is good because now we get to my actual biggest problem with the series. The art and animation. Okay, put the pitchforks down, alright? Just give me a sec here. Let's start with the art style first. Now this might sound really petty and unreasonable, but my biggest gripe with the show right now is that every character has the same fucking eyes! You know, where they're all half-lidded and everybody looks so done with life. The face is the very first thing the audience will connect with, and my problem with this ties back in with the character motivations. It's really hard to be engaged with the characters if they themselves already look bored as fuck. And I'm almost certain this is deliberate because Rak, the gator dude with the most personality, can't even be bothered to have human eyes. It's like it's intentionally putting a cap on how expressive their characters can look. And yeah, this is probably a personal preference, but it's kind of weird when the show is setting up a world with high stakes, you know? Okay, enough whining. Let's get into the animation. On a technical level, it's perfectly fine. The characters are on model, the framing is solid, and the movements are consistently fluid. It's all perfect. Almost too perfect. Yeah, I probably sound really nitpicky at this point, but what I'm getting at is that the animation is so uniform that it's actually kind of detrimental to the overall look. The speed of the movements doesn't change when variety ought to be present. Scenes where Bam and Khun are talking are animated with the same timing and pacing as the scenes where people are getting their asses kicked. And the end result is that the impact of a lot of these moments is compromised. When every action has the same amount of weight, then nothing has weight, you know? Well, anyway, I don't want this whole video to be me just bitching the whole time, so let's list off some of the things I did like. The character designs, other than the whole eyes thing, are actually quite nice. Everybody has their own distinct form and size, while still believably coming from the same world. The jokes, while sparse, do get a good laugh out of me when they work. And I really do like the variety we got so far with the different challenges, and how they tie into the personalities of the administrators that oversee them. Other than that, Tower of God is... it's alright. If I had to condense my feelings about this anime in one sentence, I would say that it's, well, dead inside sounds kind of harsh. How about lacking in spirit? It's definitely alive, things are picking up, but everything is so emotionally diluted, and I don't see it making any massive changes, cause that's clearly the impression the show is going for. It's going for serious, but it's kind of hard to take at face value when critical plot moments happen because a bunch of mystical onesans think Bam has a cute face. I know I'm probably gonna piss off a lot of hardcore fans who will take this whole video as a personal attack, but fuck it. Hit me with your best shot, guys. If there's one thing I've learned from doing this, it's that starting your words with "I think" is nothing short of a declaration of war. You ever realize how it's a lot easier to critique something that you hate as opposed to something that you really like? Kinda funny how that is. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching the video, guys. If you want to see more content like this, or if you have any anime that you want me to analyze, you can show your support by leaving a comment, liking this video, and subscribing to my channel. Until then, I will catch you guys later!